Yeah, my body cam is running 24. It's like it doesn't ever close, no matter what.
McCain, scoot up to that front section where Mr. Roy is, please. Please face me. I'm I'm gonna let you know right now. I'm gonna try to be as professional as fucking possible. First and foremost, I'm gonna tell you, I'm not gonna cut it, but you're straight up out of fucking highway patrol. You will never be a highway patrol candidate, nor will you ever be considered a retake. Second off, in the meeting that we had the other day, I vividly remember, and I absolutely know everybody else remembers, that at no point in time should Highway Patrol pull any wanted. Ever. It is an SRT SOU. We are only there to pull or to aid and assist. Second off, for you to sit here and try to pull some heinous, vindictive bullshit, especially on one of my fucking officers, bro. Man, if I had any sort of power right now, my guy, I
Can you
and the
explain what?
fucker and oh no, please, by all means, do you know what we are talking about? Please say you don't.
The only thing I can think of is me and Jenny went out on a 10-12. We went towards Gang House 1. We got tased out of the vehicle. I ran one way. She disappeared. I started shooting at one person. I ran back to try finding her. Couldn't find her, so I hopped in the cruiser and drove by them again. Still didn't see her. So, she didn't have her mic's not working for one. And she didn't type anything in the freaking Discord, so I drove back to PD, and then I seen that she said, "McCann, where are you?" So then I drove back to where she was, specifically found her standing in Gang House 1, parked the cruiser down the road, ran back to go get the cruiser. Zach chased me and shot at me. I tased Zach, put him in handcuffs, went to go back to the cruiser, and then Ninja killed me.
Okay.
Correct.
So
And phone died.
before this goes anywhere, can you provide me with your body cam up to a half hour before the incident?
I'd have to go back and look at it.
Okay, because I need everything predating the incident as well as the incident itself.
Okay.
Okay.
So
But that's-
at no point in time did you sit here and say, hey, this dude's wanted. I'm gonna go pull a wanted. At no point, man, I need it.
I never pulled a wanted. When me and her left, there was no. She has her body cam. You can look at it. Never once did we put a wanted up. I never put up a wanted. You can ask Sarah Warwick. I asked her. I said, "Where's Zach?" She said he's at Gang House 1. I took Jenny and said, "Let's go find Zach." And then we drove to Gang House 1 looking for Zach Warwick specifically. It wasn't a wanted. It was just because Zach's not a PD guy no more.
That's a
And he said that he was going to kill me every time he found me. So I was like, all right, let's go to Gang House 1. And then we got tased out of the vehicle by other gang members.
that is
Like,
literally
I never once pulled a wanted.
So you went there specifically looking for him on your 10-12.
We drove by Gang House 1, yeah, but Zach for sure, yeah, because he was going to end up wrecking us, making it into like kind of like an RP scene. With him being a previous PD officer, you know what I'm saying? I figured it would be a fun thing with Jenny being a previous one, with me being, me. I feel
Hold
like,
on, my guy. So let me get this straight. Not only did you ask the whereabouts of an individual that you may or may not know what his outcomes are, but you put another officer, another highway patrol officer, at risk. One, you were aware that her mic may or may not be working, so she wasn't adequately suited for the time being to be able to call out for help, to radio transmit. So right there is a hindrance, and you put her and her safety at risk, along with yourself, because clearly you died. So then, on top of that, you left one of my officers out in the field by herself. So now you've got one officer and a possible 1015 that you are heinously chasing down third party through via another gang member information. And you're rolling up on the gang house with no other information or calling for backup or relaying the whereabouts or what your intentions are. All you know, or all Genevieve knows, is you're going on a 10-12, but you've got ulterior motives.
No, I told her before we left that we were going to Gang House 1 to find Zach, and all we did was drive by Gang House 1. I turned around, drove by it again, and we got tased. Not one time did I stop out front of Gang House 1 and was like, hey, yo, where's Zach? Never once did I do that. I drove by again because they were having gunfights all outside of it, and then we got tased. I ran up the street towards the cruiser. I turned around, she wasn't there. I ran back, was getting shot. I was evading, and then they stopped shooting at me, and I got in the cruiser and went back to look for her. I literally ran over 4 gang members. Like, didn't find her nowhere in that crowd of like 15 fucking people.
So you ran over 4 gang members. You VDM people.
That's bodily harm.
In a fucking cruiser.
They were in the middle of the road. There's no way to dodge them. Like, trying to drive by it, there's fucking like 7 cars in the way. And then there's like 8 or 9 people in the middle of the road. So I was trying to get around them, and yeah, I ran over like, I wouldn't say 5, but like 1 or 2 people.
Yeah.
Not like on purpose, like, yeah, let me just run you over real quick. That's not an intention whatsoever. And she told me her mic was messed up and everything like that. I said, you want to go? She said yes, and she still hopped into the cruiser. And she knew that her communication skills weren't going to be up to par, and her not being able to type it into the chat quick enough, like, that's a decision on her. She made a decision to hop in the car with me. I told her what we were going to go do. She agreed, and she hopped in the thing. You know what I'm saying? I most definitely came over the radio and everything like that. Most definitely put in my macro and said that shots were fired. I asked where she was. She never responded back until I was halfway to PD. As soon as I got into PDG is when I seen it. Then I got back in my car and went back to go look for her. That's when Zach ran into me and started shooting me. I tased him. Ninja was right behind him. I didn't even interact with Ninja. I just put him in handcuffs and started running towards the cruiser, and Ninja shot me from behind. I died. Then my phone died, and I just got back on here. And now I'm in fucking handcuffs. Now, one time that it was my intention to ever leave Jenny behind. Not one time. I even came back for her, stood right next to her while she was talking to other gang members. As soon as I seen that she was safe, I ran to go back towards the cruiser because I parked it down the road. As I'm on my way to that cruiser, you can see on Zach's body cam that he pulled up on me and started shooting me, and I tased him. And then you can see that I put him in handcuffs, and I started running towards my cruiser, and Ninja shot me from behind. In that order. Everything I'm telling you is the God's honest truth. Now, one time did I try doing any heinous or backstabbing or anything that is off fucking coordinates. Never once have I done that to anybody. Never once will I ever do that to anybody. All right? Just because she got left behind, I couldn't find her. I couldn't find her whatsoever. And that's my apologies. Maybe I should have just drove up in there and just got gangbanged and still not knew where she was. I even asked where her location was 5 fucking times. But she can't respond to me because her mic's broken.
You want to go, Jenny?
So yeah, that could be my fault for even allowing her in there. But with her being her and everyone knowing her and her having her background that she has of her being here before, I believe she was LG or an MG or something like that. She was suited. She knows how everything is here. With CG, okay? You know what I'm saying? Her being a CG, her having all that experience and everything like that, I didn't think I needed to question her ability to do anything like that. Me being the higher suited, yes. But like, say, if you left Yogi and you came back and you wanted to go, you know what I'm saying? And you were like, my mic's fucked up. And I asked, do you want to go again? And you still hopped in the car. I understand. And I trust that your abilities, no matter if you're a fucking badged officer or anything lower than me, you've been here before. You know exactly how everything goes. So why should I have to?
No, but here's what I'm saying. If there is no open line of communication and you are able to go into that car, if you cannot openly communicate with your partner openly, you should make that judgment call for yourself's own safety and your partner's own safety. There should not be any waiver from that. If I am Mr. Beans were to go out on a call right now and Mr. Beans says, hey, he types in chat, hey, my mic's not working. Guess what? I know he wants to go. I know he has ambition to go, and I would love to have him go, but I need to have him be able to do radio communication or either communicate via the microphone with me. I would love to have him go, and I know he would sit there and not turn it down. I know if I ask him, he's going to say yes. However, I'm going to make the judgment call and the right call and say, hey, you know what? At this point in time, I'm going to ask you to sit this one out.
No, I get it. And Dan, you're over here asking, how do I go after somebody if it's not a wanted? It's a friend of ours. I'm not going after
That's
anybody and
literally-
specifically.
Listen, that's
Hang
literally
on.
against RP.
You're not letting me talk. Dan, let me talk, man. Let me talk. And then you can go afterwards. You asked me a question, let me answer the fucking question. All right? I don't enjoy coming on here and have to be in handcuffs, all right? Y'all want me to hear me explain myself? I'm explaining it. Okay? You can submit an RP13, do however you feel necessary. Not once was I doing a wanted. It was more of setting up an RP scene. All right? That's all that was.
Well,
It was
hold
just
on.
me.
First off, my boy, we don't set up RP scenes without clearance and approval from chief and DFGs. Second off, where you sit there and say, hey, hold on, you're going to hear me out. You will not talk like that in my fucking office.
All right, man. You know, I've explained myself just every single time I go to talk. Dan has always been known for interrupting and not letting people finish what they're saying.
Go ahead, Baker.
Wow, just simply wow.
Go ahead, Baker.
Yeah, Baker.
Okay, so my question is like this. Okay, despite the fact of her prior experience, right now she's an unbadged officer. And what I was told was, you don't remember her prior experiences. All you remember is what she is now.
No, she's a badge.
So what she is now is what she's going to remain to be, a badge officer. Whether she was an MG in here or which was a DFG in here, she's a badge officer now. And I was told that you're supposed to treat a badge officer as a badge officer, not a badge officer as a prior experience. So as a vested officer or as a scarf officer, you're supposed to know the right from wrong. You're supposed to know that, hey, listen, if she don't have the proper tools to aid you, whatever.
Your McDonald's Wi-Fi is kicking in again.
I'm sorry. What I was saying, if she wasn't able to aid you and obey you to whatever you was doing, you was supposed to not take her along. She's a badge officer. She don't have a vest. She don't have a suit. She don't have none of that. But yet you still took her out her way, and you took her out there to a gang house, knowing that she was a badge officer. Despite what everybody else knew about her, you knew from the point period that she's just a badge. Her past history is her past history. Her history now is her history now. She's a badge officer. But yet, you set aside, you took her out there, you took her to a gang house, and you set her up for failure. What's your reason about that?
I didn't set up anybody for failure. We were going out there to meet a colleague that used to be a colleague of ours.
How do you know that?
You know what I'm saying?
Hold on. I wanna,
All we were
I
doing
wanna-
was driving over there to see what he did.
Listen, you spoke a lot. I'm gonna speak a second. First of all, everything.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Everything you've done, you know it is broken RP. How could you know someone when they're out there? How could you know you're failing RP? When you die, it's a new RP scene. How are you gonna go after specific someone and going to arrest them? That is literally RP13. You are literally going after because you are abusing the power of PD because you think you want to arrest someone and you're like, I'm gonna go for that specific person. That is exactly what RP13 is. It does not work like that. If I see someone in the lobby and I don't like that person, do I have the power to arrest him for no violation whatsoever on him? Or do I have a right to kill someone for no absolute reason? And you exactly set Jenny up, and you know exactly what you were doing. From my perspective, looking at every single of those videos, I am more than happy to send in that video. I am more than happy to send in that RP13 and send it to admin because I'm seeing this, and this is unbelievable what I'm seeing over here. You went straight to her because you seen her as a badge officer. You were like, all right, I'm just gonna pick her right now. For me, Yeah, that's crazy.
I didn't go straight to her. I asked other people first that were standing right in front of her, and she said, "I'll go." I asked a vested officer to come with me first, who was standing right next to her,
And do you think
and
that's
then she was like, "I'll go."
do you think that's normal by going literally after a specific person? Do you think that's not RP13 in your mind right now? If Macan, you now left PD, right? Do you think it's right if I came to you and I started arresting you for your previous past with PD?
We didn't go after him to arrest him. We went to a location of where he was. That's it.
So
That's it.
and you're working for the PD. Do you think that's right? We have a whole detective unit where we can do that. We have a whole SWAT team and SOU we can do that. I have never in my
So
life.
hold on, Mr. Beans, if I may. I believe your first comments to me when we first started this conversation was Zachary Warwick had told you that anytime he sees you, he is going to kill you. Your remark and rebuttal to that was, okay, I'm going to make it interesting and I'm going to go after him no matter what. Those were your exact words. And I'm sure somebody in here has it on body cam. My boy, please do not insult my intelligence.
No one's insulting your intelligence. He told me that when he was still in the suit. I was there the moment he retired. I was there
So
this morning.
here's what I'm saying, my guy. You know how many individuals sit here and tell me, hey, I'm going to kill you every time I see you? Do you know how many individuals sit here and call me racist? I'm the least racist individual possibly on this fucking game. Not only that, do you know how many people sit here and call me all kinds of heinous words, my guy? Heinous, I'm talking, bro, I get all kinds of shit. But with that also being said, do you know how many other individuals sit here and say, oh, hey, that's Yogi. Oh, hey, that's Beans. Oh, hey, that's Smooth. Oh, hey, that's Avish. Or, hey, that's Rachel. Do you realize that we have built a relationship with the community? Now, for one officer to sit here and take what one other previous employed officer says to heart and go on and I'm going to say this lightly, a hostile attack on him just because he says, hey, every time I see you, I'm going to kill you. My guy, that's part of the fucking game, for one. But two, you cannot, at any given time, no matter what, even if you sit here and ask Sarah Warwick where his whereabouts are, should you ever seek out a gang member, no matter what, unless and only unless that gang member comes up to PD and you have viable officers with you during a meeting for reasonable reasons.
All right. No one was mad about him saying that he was going to kill me. I simply went after him because I figured it would be a fun interaction. Because Zach, he plays the game very well. Maybe he would make it somewhat of a challenge for me and old Jenny back here. That's all it was. There was no grudge. There was no nothing like that. And here I go. Here, whoever's talking, go ahead.
All right, so I put her in out of NRP, despite the fact about Jenny, whether she was an MG or whatever she was. This is the biggest question because it was told to me myself. Because I've been in Jenny clothing, I've been in Let's clothing. When you meet somebody, or you're out there 10, 12 with somebody, and somebody come in PD as a brand new officer, we was always told to never put them in harm's way. We always, matter of fact, Beans, he drilled this inside my head with a fucking hammerhead screwdriver to never go out there at a dangerous crime scene knowing that we could be separated if they're not knowing that, if they don't know their codes or if that might not working. You took Jenny out there to a gang house knowing her mic wasn't working, knowing you had no communications, but yet you took her out there. You set her out there. You gave her directive to arrest a certain person. She did that without knowing no details of why she had to arrest that person, and she did it. And now she's being held accountable for things that was told to her from her higher up. But yet her higher up is saying that he didn't know that her mic wasn't working, anything like that. And when he found out and she was typing, he went out there to help her out. If you would have just sat at PD, and if you would have just tested her to make sure she was ready and capable to go out there to assist you, you would have did that there, but you did not. You just took her out there. And that right there is not acceptable, especially coming from Highway Patrol. We on our goal of trying to be the best department out there, and what you did is unacceptable.
Can I talk now?
Because now, no. Because now, when Yogi or Dan or MG Smooth have to talk to the chief about that whole interaction that would happen, what are they going to say? What are they going to tell him? What are they going to report to him when it comes down to Highway Patrol went out there to a gang house and one of their members didn't have full access to talk? What are they going to say when one of their members didn't have full access to say what it was at? You left her out there. Gosh, you left her out there by herself. Then you try to return for her and you died. And she was out there stranded. And then she followed your rules and she detained a suspect without having full details of why she had detained that suspect, besides the fact that that suspect followed her from one point to another. That's the only reason she got. She have no other reason. And they have no other reason to tell the chief that she tased him and detained him. So now we are put on front row, and we're also put on fucking leverage, the tip of the edge of us being shut down because you made a huge ass mistake, bro.
Can I speak now? Because, you know, I'm getting yelled at by somebody who is not my superior. I understand and I appreciate your opinion. Thank you, Roy. Really do. Apologize if I upset you in any way, because it seems like I did. My fault. Not one time did I tell her to arrest anybody, to do anything, to tase anybody or anything like that. When we were going to Gang House 1, I did not know that was the scene that was over there. I did not know that there was 15 people outside until we drove to that spot. I didn't know that we were in harm's way going that way until we got tased out of the vehicle. Once I got tased out of the vehicle, I tried looking for my partner. Could not find my partner. She was nowhere to be found. So rule of that, if you can't find your partner, you know what I'm saying? If she's not in the area, which I patrolled for a good minute and still never found her, is to come back to PD because I'm in a vehicle by myself. I came back and then there's a message in Discord or in the chat. Granted, I probably made a bad decision call on the whole not taking her out and her not having comms. That's my bad. That's the first time I've ever encountered a scenario such as such. And yes, you know, we're not supposed to remember what their previous history is, but, you know, everyone here takes our previous, you know, history into account. I know Beans does. I know Yogi does. I know everybody here does. She's a great officer. She has been a great officer. You understand what I'm saying? So we trust her ability to do certain things that we wouldn't trust other badged officers to do. Am I wrong or am I right on that? I believe I'm right on that. Okay. You know, leave no one behind. Yes. Yes, Roy. I understand that. And I patrolled 15 times. If I can't find them, I mean, what am I supposed to do if I'm patrolling the area and I cannot find my partner? At that point, she's either dead. I mean, she's just either dead. Like, me driving around looking for her, not being able to see her body, you know, it's only 50 seconds. I patrolled it for at least 3 minutes and didn't find it. Looked in the macros to see if she had a 1098 up there. Didn't see that. So I drove back to see if she was back at PDG, and then I got a message in my macros. Instantly, I didn't even think twice. I hopped back in my cruiser, and I went straight out there to find her again. And I ran right up next to her, while she was in the green zone. I did not know she was in the green zone, and she was talking to gang members, texting them or whatever through the chat. I sat there and stood next to her, and I told her I'm going to get my cruiser, and I went to go get the cruiser and ended up dying in the process. But I did go back for my off.
You call for more units.
Okay. All right. Hold on. Because what we're doing right now is we're literally going around in circles. What I am going to need from you, Miss McCain, is 30 minutes prior to this incident. That body cam is to be turned in. Until this investigation is concluded, at this point in time, you are suspended from duty and highway patrol. I'm going to speak with Chief and DFGs, but what I'm going to do is ask you to only log on, just to log on and log off immediately, pending this investigation. I'm not saying you're fired yet because I don't have that authority because this is a pending investigation. I do, and Miss Rachel needs your body cam 30 minutes prior to that incident. And we need it post haste yesterday.
All right. So I'm not allowed to be a part of highway patrol again, correct?
Pending the investigation, until everything is sorted, my guy, right now, you're suspended.
All right, I got that, but you told me 3 times that I was never allowed to be for highway patrol again. So I just want to clarify.
Look, right now, yeah, I stand on that. However, I'm not saying you're fired from PD. What I don't like is the attitude and your adjustments.
No, I get that, but same thing when someone ticks you off, you got 15 people fucking yelling at you, and no one trying to hear you out, and all they're trying to tell you what you did wrong, but not seeing anything that I did right. You know what I'm saying? Like,
look, if I'm wrong, I will admit I'm wrong. I will humbly sit here and say, you know what? I was wrong. I will stand before you and God and every fucking body, and I will admit to everybody. I'll go on the whole goddamn server. I don't give a shit. And I will admit my fault, admit my wrong. But until that happens, my guy, you look, I hope you do prove me wrong. Please, for the love of God, prove me wrong.
I've done it once. I ain't got a problem doing it again.
All right, send that body cam, my guy.
Mr. McCain, I understand that Yogi and Beans have the last say-so, but until you turn that body cam in, whatever the outcome may be, I heard that Yogi want to suspend you and everything like that. But when LG Beans was just talking and you said, no, I'm talking, I do want to take you out of the Highway Patrol roster just because I don't know if you read the professionalism and everything like that, how we conduct in Highway Patrol. I feel like that you disobeyed that order, and I do want to take you out of Highway Patrol.
I second that.
I'm out of PD anyways. There you go. I'm not going to sit here and have something held above my head because of something that y'all are saying that I did. You know what I'm saying? Since I've came into PD, I've 100% done everything right that I was supposed to.
We're done with this.
And for y'all to sit here and, make it seem like
Take him downstairs. We're done. We're done.
All right, cool. Cool. It's great. Have a good time.
Well, that concludes the investigation, I guess.
There we go. Why do I feel like he wasn't going to send that fucking body cam?
Because you didn't.
I have the body cam. I'm still going to send it to you. Watch.
Let me tell you.
I don't give a fuck, bro. Your mouth is what got you.
For real.
You squeak himself?
Matt was right along the entire way. Matt knew it from day one. He said it. He predicted it. I was with Matt when he even got hired. I remember the day we knew we should never have hired him even. He caused mayhem ever since he joined. He was disrespectful from day one, and we just kept going and going. But listen, we did what we could, you
The
know.
only fucking, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Beans. The only fucking reason why I considered him is because Lex sat here and said, yeah, he's a good, I even vouched or verified it with Lex. Lex came to me, hey, give him a shot. He's a good dude. He knows his shit. That is the only fucking reason why.
Yeah, but listen,
Smooth, yeah, Smooth, you was down there, right?
Yep. I was.
it is what it is. And
Dead ass, bro. So, like, what the fuck? So, when he wants to sit here and man, you all know me really fucking well. And you all know it takes a lot to to piss me off. And for me to break my character and get out of pocket. But I'll be goddamned if I'm going to allow someone to vividly, vindictively put another one of my officers in harm's way, then on some humbug bullshit, try to get them in trouble? Like, what the fuck?
I mean, the evidence is clear. He knows what he did wrong, and that's why he just admitted at the end, because he knew exactly he's going to be in trouble big time. I mean, there's no way you're going to tell me that's RP or any level of RP pending a... Just imagine a investigation for detective or SOU or SRT to be going after a specific person. Going after... He asked his wife, and I have it on video, where he asked Sarah Warwick to know about his location and to go and commit this crime just because he's PD. Because he knows he can do some stuff which any other civilian would not be able to do so. That is abuse of power right there.
Yeah, this isn't the first go around I've had with him about something like this.
Yeah, and the
So my
disrespect
question is right now is
terrible.
that my question
Hold
now
on,
is
Mr. Baker.
I say my
Please.
question. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Yogi.
Mr. Beans was talking. Please hold on just one second, Mr. Baker. First, I appreciate your enthusiasm, my boy. Don't ever pipe up. I appreciate it, especially if we got an incident like that. Stand up for ours. Always stand up for ours. Mr. Beans, please go ahead and proceed.
Yeah, no, firstly, I'd like to thank how every single one of you came out here and spent your time to sort this out. I immediately, when I did hear about this, and Jenny, you played a crucial part by sending the videos quickly in, and I respect that, every single last second of it. And Rachel for coming down here, and Yogi even came on, and Smooth came on. You know, this is exactly what PD does when it needs to be done. And every single one of you, this is Gannon, Avish, Roy, every single one of you to do what we did over here. This is ultimate matureness and professionalism.
Miss Veer, look, hey, you and me, we go way back like 4 flats on a Cadillac. You know what I mean? Like, we've had some talks, and for him to sit here and do some bullshit, I apologize. I've sat here and seen some shit happen to a lot of the females in here, and you know me, I've damn near crashed fully out on motherfuckers because of that shit. And the females in this facility, in PD, have to work 100 times harder than us males. They have to put in 100 times more work than us males. And that's not trying to sound sexist or trying to, but it's facts. You guys have to work 100 times harder to prove yourself, to show everybody that you want it that much more. And I'll be goddamned if I'm going to allow some maggot to sit here and try to ruin that. Go ahead, Miss Fear.
I was saying,
Is it working?
Yes, it's working. I can hear you.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
It's really kind of muffled. You need to turn it up.
son, a teeth about a doctor.
It's already 11:30 in the night.
Yeah, it's hell late for you, huh? All right, Mr. Baker, go ahead.
So like I was saying though, even though he didn't admit to his wrongs and he left, I was trying to see what we're gonna press charges on him because we could have pressed multiple charges on him. We could have got him freaking admin jail or something. And that's not my goal. My I don't like to see other officers or XPD in jail. But when it comes down to something like this, like having somebody that says that, oh, somebody was in here PD way before you join PD and they should know right or wrong. What I was taught, what I was told was even though they joined here or they was in here previously before, if they inside of this station and they're badge officers, you should treat them as if they don't know nothing, as if they wasn't trained properly, or as if they don't have that much knowledge on it. Whether Jenny was in here or not, he didn't do that. So that also doesn't roll up with RP. And it's like, even though he was like, okay, yeah, Rachel said she was an MG, you said she was an MG, Dan said she was an MG. She is not an MG at this moment. So at this moment, her parents' experience and her past life doesn't account for of what's going on now. Because now she's taking that ass. She's trying to follow her higher ups without being told that she's been insubordinating and getting the writing up or getting an infraction. And he felt to see that. And it kind of bothers me because it's like, why would you not see her as a badge officer? Why would you see her as something that she's not already? Yes, she might know the right from wrong, but she hasn't been in PD that long. And the rules has changed. So why not give her the accountability? Be like, hey, listen, you're a badge officer. Like Dan told me, when I take badge officer on the 1012, protect them. Don't leave their side. Don't do this. Don't do that. And I does exactly what Dan tell me. So for you to be where you're at and you knowing the right from wrong, if she's a badge officer, why not do what you was trained to do to not disregard a badge officer? Why set up your badge officers to take the fall for you? And then when it comes down and everything weighs on your plate, you just decide to up and leave without facing any consequences.
No, I agree. And you're 100% right. Miss Vera, you have a question?
Yeah. So, Mr. Roy, stop. First, please stop mentioning my name back to back. And other thing, it doesn't matter. Someone is trying to set up badge officer, or even I can try tomorrow to set my suit officer or vester. I can take you somewhere and set you up. So it's not just happening with lower rank; it can be happening with upper rank too. And the other thing, now when I heard Mr. McCann, sorry. So I really don't know if Mr. Jack set him up or Mr. McCann set him up. I don't know who set who. So the thing is, I just follow my order as I supposed to be. I'm not using my any power that I was MG before or anything. So I just follow order as a past officer. All right.
Look, I'm not talking to you, Jenny, because despite the fact that you don't know me and you don't know nothing about me, but on my
Good.
NRP, and I'm gonna keep it 100.
Work
No, hit me up,
together.
Jenny.
Maybe we will. No, no. Let me talk. If we're gonna work together, maybe we can know each other. But right now, don't say that I was X or anything, because I'm not using my power or anything like that.
And
Hold on.
Jenny,
Hold on.
respect that.
1 second, Mr. Baker. So, with that being said, I completely understand what both of you are saying. Furthermore, with putting it towards admin, that's not going to happen. What is going to happen, though, is our HR department is going to file formally in the reprimands chat. Then he will be absolutely forever blacklisted And then I'm going to personally get a hold of a tech team and work my magic on my end to where he will absolutely be booted from the game without admin getting involved in anybody else. Some of you may know or may not know, but I do have contacts with the co-creator and the original creator of the game, and I have contacts with the actual tech team that does do IP searches for individuals that do heinous acts against minors. Now, with that also being said, there's also limited power to have individuals that troll or vindictively use their power to do